The most dangerous weapon on today's battlefield isn't the one that costs the most. It's the one you can afford to lose. Because in the Iran war right now, power isn't being measured by precision, it's being measured by persistence. And drones? They've turned persistence into a weapon. You don't hear it at first. No jet engine, no warning, just a small signal on a radar, then another, then 10 more, and suddenly, you're not facing a strike, you're facing a system. Because that's what drones really are. Not just weapons, but networks of pressure. Iran doesn't rely on one decisive hit. It sends waves, low-cost drones, loitering munitions, swarm tactics, each one simple, each one expendable, but together, they force a response. Every time. And that response is expensive. Advanced air defense systems activate. Missile interceptors launch. Millions spent to stop something that cost a fraction. That's the imbalance. And that imbalance is rewriting strategy in real time. Because war used to reward precision. One perfect strike. One high-value target. One moment that changes everything. But drones don't create moments. They create accumulation. Pressure that builds. Minute by minute. Hour by hour. Day by day. Until the system starts to feel it. Not in one catastrophic failure, but in constant strain. And systems aren't designed for endless strain. They're designed for bursts. Controlled engagements. Clear timelines. But this is continuous. No pause, no reset, just waves. And waves don't need to break you instantly. They just need to keep coming. That's what's happening in Iran. Defense systems are being tested, not for strength, but for endurance. How long can they hold? How many interceptions can they afford? How much pressure can they absorb before something slips through? Because something always does. And it doesn't take much. One drone, one impact, one disruption, that's enough. Multiply that over time, and even the strongest system starts to crack. But here's the deeper shift. Drones don't just change how wars are fought. They change how decisions are made. Because when weapons are cheap, hesitation disappears. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need perfect intelligence. You act, you deploy, you test, and if it fails, you send another. That speed of decision-making creates momentum. And momentum is hard to defend against. Because while one side is calculating, the other is moving, constantly, relentlessly. That's why drones are dangerous. Not because of what they destroy, but because of how they force you to think. Or more accurately, how they force you to react. And reactive systems are always behind. But it goes even further. Drones are breaking one of the oldest rules of warfare. That power belongs to those with the most resources. For decades, only the richest, most advanced militaries could dominate. They had the technology, the infrastructure, the budgets. But drones change that. Now, a country under sanctions, under pressure, with limited resources, can still project force, still disrupt, still challenge, not at the same scale, but enough to matter, enough to reshape the battlefield. And that's exactly what Iran is demonstrating. You don't need to match power directly. You just need to exploit its weaknesses. Cost, complexity, dependence on advanced systems. Because the more complex a system is, the more vulnerable it becomes to simple pressure. And drones are simple. That's their advantage. They don't need perfection. They need numbers. They need persistence. They need time. And time is something cheap weapons can buy. Because they don't run out the same way expensive ones do. You can build more, deploy more, lose more, and keep going. That's not just a tactic. That's a shift in philosophy. From dominance to endurance. From control to disruption. From winning fast to wearing down. And wearing down is harder to detect, harder to respond to. Because it doesn't feel like losing at first. It feels manageable, contained, under control. Until it's not. Until resources start thinning. Until response times slow. Until small failures begin to stack. That's when the system starts to break. Not in one moment, but in many. And by the time it's obvious, the damage is already done. That's why militaries around the world are paying attention. Because this isn't just about Iran. It's a preview, a signal of what's coming next. Swarm warfare, autonomous systems, cheap, scalable weapons that can apply pressure endlessly. And the question isn't, can you stop them? The question is, how long can you keep stopping them? Because if the answer is limited, then your system has a ceiling. And once that ceiling is reached, everything changes. So when you see a drone, don't see something small. See a shift in power, a shift in strategy, a shift in how wars are won. Because the future of warfare isn't about the strongest strike, it's about the longest pressure. And the side that understands that first won't just survive, it will dominate. Not by overwhelming force, but by relentless persistence. And once that kind of warfare begins, there's no going back. If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might change your life.